Can't leave that on. How's it going, guys? You all right, yeah? Oh, God. Not sleeping. I feel like chicken tonight. Like chicken tonight. Well, not for tonight, actually. For lunch. How you doing? You all right? Yeah? Good. Right. I thought I'd make a cup of tea and have a quick natter with you before the day gets underway. Just a minute, Priorities. I feel like chicken tonight. Like chicken tonight. If you're not from the UK and you've never seen that TV commercial, you probably won't get it. You'll just think I'm even more mental than usual. Anyway, what's going on, guys? You alright, yeah? Did you like that video last night? Oh, see, it was alright. It was all that dog was freaking me out though, Remy. He was jumping all over the place. I've got like a little cut on my nose. I can't be doing with that forever. That's like plastic surgery job, that one. I know what you think. You think you need more than that. Maybe I need to get a suntan. Right. Is that kettle boiled? Yes. I feel like chicken tonight. Right. What should we talk about? I know what I want to talk about. I think I did a Cop Talk podcast yesterday as well. Yeah, I did. We are having a cup of Yorkshire tea biscuit brew. The greatest tea in the world. I swear down. Biscuit brew. Taste of biscuits, you know. Love it. Loads of you guys have been buying them as well. That should be on commission. Right, there we go. We'll let that brew. Let me put my chicken in the oven. That's not a euphemism. So I feel like chicken tonight. Like chicken tonight. In it goes. Do you know what? I've started liking cold chicken, so I'll cook that, let it go cold, put it in the fridge so it's beautiful. I don't know what that's all about. I wanted to talk to you today actually about respected sources. I think I touched on this in the long video I did last night, so you might not want to watch this video. And I know that sometimes, I repeat myself in my videos. I say things like, I've been around here 25 years with Cop Talk. This is when Dale messages me and goes, he'll put in the comments, he'll say, how many years is it again, Dunk? I forgot. But the reason I repeat myself so many times is I get a lot of new viewers, There's like quite a few people commenting recently saying, been watching you for, last month or so, last week and enjoying your content. So sometimes you have to talk about things with new people in mind, And I'm going to talk to you about when people use the term respected journalist or journalists. And we'll have spoke about this many, many times over the years. But, I always think maybe there's like a new, like a younger fan or something joining or, so I just want to go over it. And I make these videos for the community, all right? If you're new to this channel and you don't like this channel, you're one of these people that just jumps from here to there and we're not interested in your views. All right, these videos are made for my community, from the Cop Talk website, the podcast, and here. And, these people are like my friends, so we just chill out, we're just having a natter, and we'll probably be here for a while. And if that's not your kind of thing, there's no problem. We've got no problems with that. We're not here to impress anybody. I'm certainly not here to impress anybody. I'm not looking to gain more subscribers or out like that. It's always nice to have new members, definitely. Someone left a comment on here the other day, a nice lad. I bumped into him with our Rob, my son, many years ago. He was 15, and he said to me in the comments on here, he said, Dunk, he went, I bumped into you and Rob years ago. He went, you were a man back then. You really need to be, you need to operate like, and he mentioned other, like, YouTube channels and Twitter accounts and that. But and he was being nice, and he was like, they're raking it in. I mean, like, yeah, like financial reward is good, but that's not my objective here. If I can survive in life, and that's all I'm bothered about really. And the last thing in the world I'd want to be is any other YouTube channel. I'm not a YouTuber, right? I'm not. This is an extension of Cop Talk, the website. I don't want to be like any of those Twitter accounts. You know, I think I've got about 20,000 on Twitter or something. I don't know. I'd rather have 20,000 than a million, because I know them 20,000 people are going to be more switched on and not the kind of people, the ones that follow the big accounts, the kind of people I don't want to interact with, because you've only got to look at a tweet from any of those big accounts, right? And read the comments underneath that, and you'll see the kind of people they attract that follow them. And that's not what I want here. You know, I want real people. I want to say grown-ups, but I'm hardly grown up myself. But I mean people that get it and understand things, and not just, you know, some of these numpties you see in these comments on these accounts. And what you have to understand is that usually it's a Twitter account or a Facebook page or a website or a YouTube channel or a podcast, whatever, right? I do all of those things, you know, like I'm running all of those things. If I was only doing a YouTube channel, then this would be my focus. This would be it. But it's not. It's all these little different things. They don't tend to do that. They tend to do one thing. And not only that, what you have to understand is it's a they, whereas here it's a me. So there ain't no team of people here, you know. This is just me. I'm a lone wolf. And if you start going down the route of how some of these other channels and Twitter accounts operate, I would be selling myself out. Do you know what I mean? Like, they literally will tweet anything that's mentioned to be Liverpool, just to get, you know, more interaction, more traction, more revenue potential. And I won't do that. I don't want to do that. I would rather stick to the stuff that sounds more credible or dismiss the stuff that sounds ridiculous. And it's worked for me in 25 years. It's got me where I am. And, you know, I cashed in and made a lot of money back in the day, you know, before Twitter and YouTube, Google even existed. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've done all right. I mean, the revenues around today are not like they were back in the day. You've got to do different things now. But the point is, I capitalized in my 20s. So today, I can just relax a little bit. Like I say, as long as I can pay my bills, like we all want to do in life, and get through life, it's great. There's no pressure. Imagine like having to work for a living. I don't want to do that, guys. I'm a granddad. You know what I'm saying? Why would I, you know, want to interview players, which was one of the suggestions. You should get some interview. Why would I want to do that? I don't care what a player thinks. I genuinely don't give a shit what any Liverpool player thinks. You've got to remember, when Cop Talk started, you know, I was the first website that had the players on, you know, had columns on Cop Talk. You know, all your heroes at the time, you know, your big guns, your real, like, Liverpool legends like Tommy Smith, and, you know what I mean? And it was great. It was great. But now, today, there's so many places, you know, back then, you, as a football supporter, you didn't get the views of former players, maybe on television on a televised game. Today, you know, you got to remember, Cop Talk was one of the first, you know, Liverpool websites out there, you know, before the official LFC website and all of that. And Cop Talk did everything first, really. It really did. And, you know, I'm happy with how it is today, guys. I like it as it is today. And all these players and former players, they're just like, they're paid to go on any betting website, any fan site, any, you know, podcast or anything. I don't need to do that. Why do I need to do that? At the time, fans couldn't get that. So I felt it was nice and helpful for fans around the world to be able to get closer to Liverpool Football Club. And I was the first to do it. So I don't need to do these things. I don't need to do that. And not only that, if you start having, say, you know, all right, guys, I've got an interview with Jordan Henderson. Do you really think Jordan Henderson is going to answer the questions that I would ask? Is he? You know, they're not going to, Liverpool Football Club's not going to let him anywhere near me. You know, so think about that when you see these players elsewhere on other podcasts, you know, or other things, whatever. Make your own decisions as to what, you know, no one's going to come on here, guys, ever. And I wouldn't, if any of them players reached out to me and said, oh, look, like they're not going to, I wouldn't do it, because you're either independent or you're not. And I'm independent. and I'm unofficial. And back in the day, there was a brilliant editorial written by, or an article written by a guy that used to do PG Rants, it was called on my website, Paul Graham, PG Rants, and he did an article about unofficial, what it meant. And I'm afraid today, guys, if you want that kind of content, you're giving something up, trust me. You have understandings then, and you do stuff, you know, and I'm never going to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm just not ever going to do that. I've never wanted to do it, and I never would. I'm more interested in what you think about Liverpool Football Club, what you think about Jurgen Klopp, what you think about Jordan Henderson. I'm not interested in what a single player or football personality in the world has to say. We are, you know, drowned with their opinions every day of the week. You know, Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, we used to call him Gary Dot Cotton Neville back in the day. Dot Cotton, you'll have to Google that if you're not from England and a certain age. They used to be good, you know, when they come out, but now it's like they've got an opinion on everything. You know, let's go and see what them two think. You know, Jeff Shreves has just been for a shite. What do you two think? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not interested. Could care less. It's the fans. Cop talk. The clue is in, you know, the name of the website. Talk. Getting the cop talking. The fans. Yes, it's nice to know what players have got opinions and things like that. But there's two things you've got to look at here. One, you know, why would I want to pay anyone to contribute to Cop Talk these days? I did back in 1998, 99 or whatever. I was paying thousands of pounds a month for these columnists. They weren't anywhere else, but today they're everywhere. So what would make it so different if they were on Cop Talk today? It wouldn't look good. Google Web Archive or Wayback Machine and put coptalk.co.uk in and go back to 98 maybe, and you'll see what the front page of the website used to look like or something like that. Who remembers this guy? Do you remember him? He'd sort you out. Sorry, I'm just talking to my other dog, my rescue dog. Rodders. That makes me sad looking at him. So no, I don't want to do that. I appreciate your input on that. I'm a lone wolf. I don't have people here. You know, if there was a team of us, you know, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Liverpool fans, we're all doing this, and well, I'll do the podcast, you do the videos, you do that, then fine. Maybe if it was a commercial entity, you know, if that's what you do, look, there are YouTube channels on here that exist to make money, you know, and I ain't got a problem with that. I've been making videos on here since God knows when. Don't look at my first videos. If you think I'm big now, you know, there was no partnership then or anything. Nah. Do I want to make money? Yes, absolutely, because I want to survive. I'm no different to anyone else, you know. But I tell you this, I could make a lot more money if I was working on the internet and I didn't do any of the Cop Talk stuff. True. So I just wanted to clear that up. I need to clear that up. I'm happy with. For me, it's quality, as Rafa would say, quality over quantity. So if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, whatever, if you get 1,000 loyal followers, you've cracked it. You don't need a video to go viral. You don't need 1 million followers. You just need loyal followers. And I've got that with Cop Talk. And I love what we've got, and I wouldn't change it. And I would, if I start, you know, if I even could be bothered to do something like that, interviewing players or getting, no, I'm more interested in what you guys think. You know, when we do a stream on a Saturday night on here, you're more than welcome to phone in. You know, we have a chat on air, you know, on the stream like we do. I'm more interested in what you think. Dave from Derby, Liverpool fan, being a Liverpool fan, I'm interested in his views, you know, and then some stuck-up plank. It's the same when, you know, when you see these people on GMB, you know, breakfast TV in the morning, and they'll say, now we're going to go to such and such commentator, or, You know, and I just think, come on, fucking, see, I'd rather they just got a random person from the street, put them in the studio and say, well, what do you think about this Rishi Sunak and that decision he's made? Well, I think he's, do you know what I mean? I'd rather have that. Who wants these ponces? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not in that. Hey, I'm in a good mood, can you tell? Don't like that thing on my nose now. Need some makeup. So, I do appreciate the feedback, by the way. That kid was being nice and helpful. And he said take care and all that, but I'm never, ever, I can't think of anything worse. And I tell you something now, whether you believe me or not, I think he said, oh, they're doing about $4,000 a week or something. I would not take $4,000 a week and sell out my principles. Never, guys. I just couldn't do it. I've turned down plenty of money over the years through Cop Talk, stupidly, from people that want to, you know, what you've got to remember when you start doing that, the comments you see in here from people are real people. I couldn't tell you how many Cop Talk members we have. I've never looked at a spreadsheet or a chart in the 25 years that I've done Cop Talk. Never once. That's how much it means to me as a business. It's a business for legal purposes, for tax only. No targets, you know. I couldn't tell you. People will say, how many members you got? Like, I don't know. Speak to her, won't you? I ain't got a clue. Those people in the comment section below this video, they're real people, guys. Real people. We might not agree with each other, but they're real people. And I'd rather look at them names, right, than look at them and see them as a, you know, a user, if that makes sense, or a unique user. You know, so I can look at the end of the month and go, oh, look how many unique music. No, I'd rather be able to remember everyone's name. So that's that. I don't want to be, I will never, ever, no, fuck that right off. Not interested. A lad on here over there, I'm behind on my emails. I'm really, really sorry. You know, we had a major site outage the other day, which was very worrying. I've got some real personal things going on at home from this evening. For a few days, and I'm behind on a lot of my emails, but there was a lad the other day, and I will acknowledge him, and I haven't replied to him yet. And I was sat outside, and I was having me grub, you know, my lunch or whatever, and this thing popped up on PayPal, and it was about 20 quid, 20 euros or something like that. And he went, "Don't get yourself lunch on me, pal." Now, I'm sorry, guys. My heart, you know, like. I was like, how nice, you know, like how nice people can be. They're the people that I want on here. Do you know what I mean? Like his heart's in the right place. How nice is that? Totally random, out of the blue. And I get that all the time. So yeah, it'd be great to have, you know, like these other YouTube channels, maybe, you know, $4,000 a week coming in. We'd be out partying all the time, wouldn't we? But I can't do that, guys. I can't do it. And I made my money when I needed to make my money. And I used my head, so that's all that matters. Now at my age, 48, 49 this year, granddad, you know, losing my mum 11 years ago, I'll never get over that. And it just puts everything into perspective. I couldn't give I was going to say I couldn't give a toss about money. I could, because we all need it to get through life, but yeah, you got to remember, my old man, he killed himself because of money, you know, so nah, I've got a different outlook on life, that's all. So, sorry for the everything there, but it's true. I'm happy with how it is, and that's it. And I don't want to work for a living anyway. Oh, I've just got to read this message. Okay, great. Sorry, this is really important. So, right, we are going to talk about, now I might have to put in the video description where to skip to. No, this is it. This is part of it. This is Cop Talk. This is the real deal. You don't like it, it's tough. So, respected journalists, right? Now, there are times when people will use that terminology, and it's fair to use it. If I'm doing a news article on Cop Talk, right, and I'm please, I hope I'm not coming across as condescending, patronising or anything. I'm trying to, like, explain a little bit to people that maybe don't know, so that they can look out for these things on Twitter especially, because there's a lot of people on there that will mislead you. And we had an email in yesterday, or I had an email in yesterday. I think it was Paul MC, I can't remember. I'm sorry, Paul, if it... Oh God, I can't remember who emailed me yesterday. I've got a terrible memory, don't take offence. And he spoke about mental health issues to do with supporters, that, you know, these owners probably don't realise how much it affects football supporters when they don't get their dreams, younger fans especially, yeah? That, for me, football's always been a release. So no matter what's going on in your life, bereavement, relationship problems, financial problems, and I've had all of them, when you get to the end of the week, you can do anything, and you're like, do you know what, I'm just going to watch Liverpool now for 2 hours. It gets me away from it. When my mum was in hospital for 8 months back then, and it was horrific, me and Rob went to see Liverpool play one day. We left the hospital at Hull. We didn't live in Hull, it was just the nearest major hospital to Scarborough, where I'm from. And if you go to Hull, you know what I mean. We call it, you know the song, The Road to Hell, we call it The Road to Hull. We were going through an awful time, and Rob was a young lad then, maybe about 10. And Liverpool were playing. I obviously had my season tickets. And my mum was there, and she said, look, you two get yourself off to football. So I can't leave you, mum. She said, go, get yourself to football. You'll be back in a few hours, you'll be back tonight. I went, you sure, really? And she went, yeah. So me and Rob went. And maybe it sounds selfish or awful, but sat in them seats for 2 times 45 minutes took us away from what was hurting us, you know. And you go back to it afterwards, right? But I'll sort my shit out. Let me put kettle on. But what the fuck are you doing, you idiot? Oi! I don't know if you heard that. But it takes you away from, you know, stuff that's going on temporary in your lives. You know, afterwards you go back and you carry on and whatever. But that's what football is. It's what it's been to me, and I'm sure it has been to you guys at many times, right? And when you're not getting your enjoyment from football, what's your release then? You know, what's your release then? And it was a good email that was sent to me, and it made me think, you know, about maybe it does affect people mentally, you know, when they don't get, you know, when things aren't going right with the football. And I said on the podcast yesterday, I said, maybe that's pathetic, you know, maybe we are pathetic if that's how we feel, you know, oh, we've missed out on a player, my mental health is it? Because listen, I can't stand people that bang on about mental health sometimes, and I'm not talking about people that have genuine issues. I'm talking about people that go, oh, I've had a really bad day at work, I'm depressed, you know what I mean? Like, I want to throttle them. Do you know what I mean? I can't stand people like that. And you might not be able to say man up anymore, but you do have to man up sometimes. You do. And if that offends you, I'm afraid you're going to have to deal with it. Because it's something I believe in. But you do talk to people, you get it out, you speak about your problems and stuff. He's going mental out there. Wait, what are you doing out there? Right? I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's thrown me off all over. Maybe I just thought maybe that was a good point. I'd never ever thought about how it might get people down so much. I mean, you might turn around and say, oh, get a life, you need something in life to worry about. But isn't that the point? Maybe they've got all that stuff in life to worry about, and that's why they're looking for something to take their mind off it. Football's a release. And it ain't much fun under these lot, I can assure you. I'm all over the place with this, aren't I? Now, when you get to these people on social media, let's talk about them numpties, right? Respected journalists. Now, if I'm writing a news article and I'm going to mention to you Fabrizio Romano, he shouts too much, that plank, right? He's a tapping merchant. Let me tell you this. When I'm at my desk, right, you might have seen I've got 3 monitors around me and a laptop and a tablet. and most of them are on all the time. Now, in real time, the monitor to the right of me is monitoring, say, Twitter or social media for keywords, all right? So if you go on Twitter and mention Bellingham, sometimes I mentioned this once before, and loads of you started saying hi Dunk and put Bellingham, or whatever name it was at the time. It will flash up on my computer. Anyone in the world that is on Twitter and they mention that word, I can have it ping me and tell me. But if you were to set it like that, it'd go off every second. It'd be non-stop notifications, right? So I customize it. I change it to maybe the amount of retweets they get or the amount of likes. Basically the amount of interaction with that, because if it's just a fan mentioning Bellingham, it's probably just a personal opinion. He might have 300 followers, 1,000 followers, whatever, but it's really probably not going to be beneficial to me. If I get something that lights up, that's important, then not necessarily important, but it's gaining interaction, I'm notified of that. And these keywords change all the time, so I'll always have one set for Jurgen Klopp. And that will be set to notify me instantly with a sound, flash up on my screen. If anyone in the world on Twitter mentions Jurgen Klopp, but I'll have it set to how many people maybe retweeting it, liking it, or whatever, and then it limits dramatically the amount of stuff you see. It's really cool, right? And I see a lot of these things online from certain journalists around the world, different countries, and then 2 minutes later, not even that, Fabrizio Romano is claiming the same thing. Now, there is no doubt that Fabrizio Romano is pally with a number of agents, right? And I'm not here to criticise Fabrizio Romano. I'm just trying to tell you that some of these people, I see stuff they mention before they mention it, if that makes sense. So like Paul Joyce, he mentions shit, and I guarantee you seconds later, Pierce, Bascom, Jones, Ghost, is it? I don't know, all of them. They all follow, Joyce. I'm not digging at them. I'm just saying that that's how it works. People tend to follow. When I say follow, I don't necessarily mean they definitely follow them accounts. I mean that, you know what I mean. So if I mention Fabrizio Romano, Mo Salah, they'll think I've got Tourette's. That's a private thing to joke from months ago. I don't know. He was once did a video about Mo Salah's contract, and he was screaming Mo Salah throughout it for about 15 minutes, and there was nothing in it. It was like one of my videos, really. He could have mentioned it all in about 30 seconds. If I do a news article and mention Fabrizio Romano, I don't need to tell you in that article who he is, because you know who he is. And you, all of you, me, us, collectively, we form our own individual opinions about every journalist that's out there, right? You, watching this video, are a hardcore Liverpool supporter, unless you want to, from the other... I do get fans from other clubs watching me. But if you're a Liverpool supporter, you're a hardcore Liverpool supporter, you want to see everything, you know everything, and you're in a tiny percentage of fans, I think, because I know a lot of fans that if I bump into them, I go for a beer, I'm in a bar, what do you do for a living, pal? I do it, all right, yeah, I support Liverpool, oh yeah, and I'll mention something about the owners, and they'll go, owners? What? I don't even know who owns the club, pal. So they're like, then there's nothing wrong with that. They're just like, they've maybe got life. They maybe, it doesn't mean we're better than them in any way, shape or form, but you guys, I think that you guys watching this video will know who's who online. And if I write an article, I don't need to mention him, but if I write an article about an Italian journalist, not Italian journalist, if I write an article about, let's pick any European country and their top flight league in that division, and some journalists, I have like a little database, and I'll look them up, because I forget everything, and I can put their name in and it'll tell me who they are, what they've claimed before and stuff like that. And you might not know who that journalist is, all right? And there's journalists out there today that I don't know who they are, and you guys sometimes, I'll go, well, who's that, right? Which probably means that he's not worth paying attention to. Ben Jacobs was at it again yesterday on a podcast. He makes it up as he goes along. Not my view. That's what someone said in the Cop Talk chat room last night. Yeah, don't listen to Ben Jacobs, guys. Not yet, anyway. He's trying to make a name for himself. Don't blame him. I ain't got a problem with him. He's just chat shit. So I pick a journalist that's made a claim about Mo Salah, for example. And you guys are like, I know as I'm writing that article that you guys are going, well, who the fuck? So I'm like, he is, he's close to whoever, or he is a respected journalist in Portugal. That is maybe helpful to you, right? Because you go, all right, Dunk says it doesn't mean I'm right. You might read it and go, well, I disagree with that, but I have an opinion, you have an opinion. But most people trust what I say. Otherwise, what's the point of being on the website? So I would, in those scenarios, if you don't know who that guy is, I would try and help you and say, well, he is actually he's respected, to be honest with you. Right, so, however, if you see on social media, right, someone that focuses on Liverpool Football Club, for example, when I say see someone on social media, I don't mean a fan, I mean someone that is doing it for commercial purposes, right, to make money. Now, there's nothing wrong with making money. I make money on my website, right? But a Twitter account is free to run. There's no expenses in that, right? There's no expenses, there's no web hosting, there's no, in Spain here, I think I have to pay 300 a month just to work for myself, regardless if I make a penny or whatever. I have to pay 300. You've got your accountancy, retainer fee every month. It's a lot of money you've got to find, before to do all these different things. So I need to make money to pay for those things, and then I need to make money to survive, right? Like anybody. But when you've got just a Twitter account, I often think like, all right, I mean, if it's a full-time job on Twitter, and that's your thing, and everyone really likes your content and they're supporting you, then fair play to you. Absolutely, I fully support those kind of people. But there is some individuals on there that spend more time tweeting links to Liverpool FC merchandise. Oh, look at these new sneakers, these new LeBron James, right? Look at the, and I just look at them and I think, why would you, that just disgusts me. And I tell you why, because I can't stand him, because he's part of what's wrong with the ownership at Liverpool, but that's another topic, all right? If I was to put them links on my social media, I'd probably make a bit more money doing stuff like that. But I'm not going to do it. Don't believe in it. If there's something I like, I'll go, hey guys, I like these. What do you think of these? Here, use that link if you want. I'll get a bit. We're all happy. I use affiliate links over the years, but you won't see me pushing shit like that very often at all. But some of these accounts push it non-stop. And not only that, what's the other stuff they do? Betting. Betting affiliations. Now, let me give you an indication of this. Back when I was doing Cop Talk in the late 90s, 2000, without trying, right, the betting affiliation links were probably generating $3,000 a month. Right? $3,000 a month. I don't have a single betting affiliation with any bookmakers now. I don't do that. But the potential is there to make a lot of money if you've got the audience, right? And I had a legitimate audience from providing good content. Must have been good because people kept coming back, and most of them have been with me all that time. And they have a membership, and the membership, let's be honest, is a donation to the to me. Don't love your work, I love it, it's great. Yeah, pal, So the money can be made, and this is why these big Twitter accounts spread all this nonsense, right? Or maybe you could say, well, hang on, that's a fan account, don't they? Well, no, they're not going to spread it in, or maybe they're not going to lie like that numpty from KFC, all right? That's just a commercial thing, right? Genius, making money from it. People can take the mickey out of him as long as they want, but if I was him, I'd be thinking, well, you take piss as long as you want, but you're off to work, pal, aren't you? I'm just sat here playing with everyone. Now, some of the Liverpool accounts tell you everything. Do you know what I mean? Like the weakest link to a player, they will tell you to gauge, interaction, which is an indirect way of making revenue. No problem. I ain't got a problem with people making money at all. I don't care about the owners making billions. I just don't care. If your art's in the right place, that's all that matters, right? I just know how it works. And I know that, you know, I mean, my members' website, we have no advertising on there, never have done in the entire time it's been online. And when things have been difficult, the members have said, don't get some ads on here, pal. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. We're going to keeping it ad-free, and it stayed ad-free to this day, and it will do until I die. Maybe that makes me stupid. I don't know. Money's not my focus. I want to make money, but I'm not obsessed with it. So I sees a tweet the other day put out by one of these accounts online, Twitter, and I get sad when I see some of the comments, or some of you guys might message you, go, "Don't have you seen this? What about this?" And it can get people's hopes up, and it's going like back to the podcast email where people's mental health, you know, maybe a young fan, teenagers, like everything's going wrong, but he wants Liverpool to sign Bellingham, you know, and it'd make him really happy, you know. Maybe he needs to sort his priorities out in life, but maybe he's had a terrible life, and maybe that's all he's got is his football club, right? So leave him alone, right? We'll leave him alone. And then you get these planks that go on social media and get everyone's hopes up. And then they use terminology like respected journalists. And I seen this tweet the other day, and one of them was respected journalist Fabrizio Romano, and another one. Now, when you see that how I read that, right, before I've even thought about what the tweet is about, that is usually, and this is where I'm trying to help you guys, that is usually someone with that they know it's really weak and they're trying to give it credibility, right? Or whoever is making the claims they're tweeting about is saying something that individual wants to agree with, and that can be a football fan. So if you're FSG out and someone criticises FSG in Boston, you might say, this guy in Boston, and he's respected, guys, he's being very critical of FSG, all right? Because it's backing up his opinion of FSG, and it gets you to agree with him more, and suits his agenda, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm trying to explain to you how it works. So when you see one of these accounts saying respected journalists, you don't need telling who is a respected journalist that deals with Premier League football clubs, right? Or even, I'm sure, you know, the majority of top flight, you know, we all know who Guillem Balaguer is, right? You don't need to be told he's a respected journalist. And that, you know, is he anyway? You know, because I'm in Spain, right? And, you know, I can think back to the days when Rafa, as Tom Hicks would say, when Rafa was at Liverpool, for sure. And you'd have a transfer story involving Liverpool and Real Madrid, and Balaguer would be on Sky Sports saying one thing to appease the Liverpool fans and saying another thing in Spain on Spanish TV to appease the Real Madrid fans. However, I still want to know what Balaguer's got to say. I still want to know what Romano's saying. I want to know what they're all saying. But I don't want you to fall into the trap of trusting some of these accounts when they say respected, because what I'm trying to say to you is, if you see respected journalists, I want you to think, oh, remember what Dunk said about this, and think about it. Just for a few, it could be completely legitimate and genuine. It's just trying to be helpful. It's a respected journalist, whatever. But you don't need telling that Fabrizio Romano is respected. I personally don't think he is. I like what he said. You know, I don't like what he says. What I mean is, I find him interesting. I think there's no doubt he's got some relationships with agents in the game. But I also know he's a tap-in merchant, you know. But the gullible are more likely to believe him, you know, because, you know, I always want to call them followers he's got, you know. He must know what he's talking about. But you've only got to look at some of the rogue Twitter accounts with many, many followers, and it doesn't mean anything. If you see an account, listen, here's a tip for you, right? Here's another tip for you. There you have. Look at this here, two for the price of one here, right? DKB and all that jazz. Dunk knows best. What's the tip? What was I going to say? Here's a tip for you. So you stumble on, someone makes a bizarre claim about Liverpool being taken over by GIC in Singapore, something like that, right? Or Qatar. or someone that you know, an account you've never heard of before, or, you know, the first thing you're going to do on Twitter, if you use Twitter, of course, and this will apply on Facebook as well, but I love Twitter. I love Twitter, not for anything to do with football purposes. Twitter's my, like, when I'm bored, I'm on Twitter. When I'm not around on Twitter, I'm up to no good. I just got a message off tag 2056, loving the new cop talk layout. The haters are gonna, I don't know, he said, I don't know if I can, where can I read that? I can't read, it's on that phone. I won't touch it, I might break it. Tag 2056, now you should follow him on Twitter. He would be offended if you called him an ITK, but he knows more than all that lot put together, trust me. So you stumble on one of these accounts and you're thinking, well, who is it? And then you go, oh, he's made a claim about Liverpool here, you know. He's made a claim about Liverpool here. Oh, he's got 200,000 followers. Well, he must know what he's talking about, right? Maybe he does. Maybe he does know, right? But look at the tweet that he's put out and then look at the comments and try and work out the ones that follow him or whatever, and try and gauge the mentality of the people responding to that tweet. Now, I know that is a very generic, sweeping statement to make, and you might be offended by that if you go, well, I follow him, and sometimes, yeah, okay. But if you look, the majority of people, if they're a few short of a plug, that's probably telling you that, you know, who this person, how this person operates. All right? I don't think I'm explaining that one very well. If I offend you, you shouldn't be on here. Well, look, you don't have to take what I say as gospel, all right? I'm just trying to help my peoples out, and I know how a lot of it works. Just be careful with these people. Respected journalists. Do you ever see Paul Joyce writing the respected journalist, whatever? Because he doesn't need to do that, does he? Because him himself is a respected journalist, I think, by most of us. I'm not sure I respect any of these journalists, to be honest, but you know what I mean by that. I was going to rephrase that and use the word credible, but then we're going off topic from respected journalists. But respected, you know, maybe just someone that you listen to. You don't necessarily take everything that they say as gospel, but you don't see them because them in their own entity, they don't need to convince you of the story they're giving. They're like, hey, look, you know, I'm up here. I don't give a if you believe me or not, right? This is what I'm reporting. My chicken. This is what I'm reporting. No, it's all right. It's coming on all right. It's just 2 chicken legs, guys. See that picture? If you're new to my channel, right, that's nothing to do with me, right? There's a story behind that picture. It belongs to my wife, and when she put that up in here, I went mental and said, what the fuck is that? It's a picture. I said, I know it's a picture, but look at the state of it. She went, well, I like it. And the way I look at it is, if that had been in the lounge over my dead body, or she'd be a dead body, oh, I'm on #MeToo, you're not allowed to joke about things like that. But, right, this is a kitchen, so she can do what the fuck she wants to. But she hasn't been here for a while. She's not been in this kitchen for 3 years, actually. But she's coming to see me today for the first time in a long time. We speak every day, seen her once. Well, we live between countries, and it's a long story. If that picture's gone a week today, she won't be coming back here, all right? I'm not even joking about it. I will take that picture outside and burn it and cook hot dogs in a little fire or something on it. You'll see that, and I'm not even joking. If it's still there next week. Right, so, why are we talking about the picture? Oh, I don't know. Listen, that's it. I ain't got nothing else to say, I don't think. Was I in the middle of a story? Probably was, when I was telling you something. No, it's just about these people, really. Joyce and that, they don't need to. They don't need to do that. So, all I'm trying to do is pass on my experience to you, right? And I've done all right from my way of thinking. And if I see someone say, respected journalist, 9 times out of 10, I know they're just trying to reel me in or you in into their way of thinking, whether they're I don't want to call them a journalist, whether they're a commercial Twitter account or an ordinary fan. They're trying to reel you in. They're trying to give emphasis and strength to their claims. Don't get paranoid about saying respected journalist to anyone though, because it's fair. If someone doesn't know, it's fine to say, it's fine. It's up to me to decide what you can and can't say. There's nothing wrong with saying respected journalist. I just hope I'm explaining what I mean. And a lot of people get reeled in by it. I see this stuff on the members' website and people say it and I have to chip in and go, guys, and there's nothing worse when one of my members says, I've seen this, and he said respected you, and I have to pull him up and go, guys, listen, please, I'm not telling you what you should and shouldn't believe. I'm just saying, be careful when you see the term respected journalist. That's it. I think I've said what I wanted to say, yeah. Trying to think what I've got to do now, guys. So listen, we've got a great chat room, guys. We really have. I think I can show you on this phone. If you've got a mobile device, we've got to go and do some stuff, Rem. If you've got a mobile device or a desktop or a laptop or a tablet, you can download a program called Telegram, and it operates on all your devices at the same time. So be careful if you message a chick on one, right? On your phone, because it can be coming up on your computer downstairs, you know what I'm saying? So just use your head, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's a secret chat and it's device to device. Mm-hmm. This is why I've been on my own for 3 years. I've not been on my own, but you know what I mean. Right, so, Telegram. You need to go to t.me/Cop Talk Chat and t.me/Cop Talk News. You'll get the news alerts on that one, but t.me/Cop Talk Chat will prompt you to join our chat room, which is here somewhere. There. So, right now, there's 8 people talking. There's 274 of you in there. And they're talking about Bellingham and so on. Anyway, so here it is. It's just like a little chat room, right? And, when you're out and about, when you're bored, when you're on the carsy, when you're in the bath, you can just check in and see what's happening. No one sees your telephone number unless you change your privacy settings. It's, unless, I don't even know if they'd still see it, but they definitely do it when you join. You can put your username John Smith or your real name or whatever you want. You might be lurking, you know what I'm saying? Phil O'Hagan's in there now. Big John, Baggers. Who else is in there? Sherlin. Yeah, Adam Fern. Johnny says, mind the dust on that picture in the kitchen, Dunk. Yeah, I never thought of that. I need to go along the top of there. We'd like you to join the chat room. So some of the people you see in the comments of this video will be in that chat room. And I have it muted, I've got to be honest with you, because I would get notifications all day and night. So I would advise you mute it and just drop in and out as you want. You can leave at any time. And it's not just people idlessly talk. You'll see a lot of stuff. They will share a lot of things that they find online. Most of it's rubbish because it's from these accounts and that. But match day, you might get the goals dropped in there, interviews. You'll get helpful pointers, I think. And if you want to enjoy, I don't use social media for following Liverpool Football Club. I use it to keep an eye on things, but my own personal, at Duncan Oldham, please do follow me on Twitter, or at Cop Talk TV on Twitter, at Cop Talk Members on Twitter, at Cop Talk Podcast on Twitter, right? My own personal stuff, I'm just like, I don't really get into the discussing Liverpool on Twitter because it's toxic and immature. There's a lot of desperate souls out there that want us to sign Bellingham. But if you want to get away from that, the Cop Talk Members website, check the video description for more, is perfect for that. It just had it upgraded this week. It's beautiful, it's lovely. Just added a new section yesterday. I'm not pimping that out, I was just doing a joke, but I will mention it. But if you don't want to join the members website or can't, this is a good alternative. You can just chop into the chat room and it's really good. I really like it, and I should have done it years ago, really. It's only new, and I'm loving it. But on the members website, I created a new section last night called The Inbox, right? And this is because I'd mentioned to you guys on here the other day about these accounts online that do mention like everything. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really sure I want to do that though, But what I've started doing is now when people send me wild rumours, like my auntie saw such and such and he was doing, and all that, I'm now posting them in this section called the inbox on the members website. And the first one we posted last night was about Jude Bellingham, and it was like this rumor about what had apparently gone on at the weekend, to do with the you know what I mean, and the talks, and I put it on there, and someone replied to it and went, "It's really weird that, because I've seen something similar on the Man City forums." And it's really good. And I'm so, like, when I get emails that I know I can put online, the idea is to put on there the stuff that from people that I have like no association with, and maybe they're sending it in good faith. Maybe it's just made up. There's big disclaimers there saying don't go quoting this anywhere else, saying I got this off Cop Talk members website, and it's really good. And also things like I published something yesterday from Talk Sport who reached out to me, and I want to show them, I want to show you guys like how these betting companies operate, how they try to really win with stuff and all that, and just examples of like what this video is about. I want to give I just think it's a good idea, and I've never thought about it. But the members website is kicking at the minute because we've just upgraded it this week, and I've been putting it off for years, and it's absolutely mint. It's great, it looks beautiful, honestly, and listen, I'd love you to be a member. I know many of you can't be, or you don't want to. That's not a problem. We've got plenty of free content, right? Look at this, right? We're here all the time. It's just for those that can and want to help me, And but it's kind of inspired me. It's making me want to do more, which is why I did that new forum last night. Probably the first one in 10 years, maybe 15 and more. I'm kind of like really buzzing about Cop Talk at the moment, and you guys, And we just need the owners to sort shit out. Because then there's the reality sinking in, look, what you're buzzing for, don't. But this summer, guys, we've got to take it. We've got to. If you could see this dog out here, it's literally jumping as high as the top of a door to try and get a fly. Mental. The Bellingham stuff, I did a video about that last night, so I'm not going to go into all that again. You can watch that if you can be bothered. And I did a podcast as well yesterday. But regardless of what happens with that, there has to be, significant transactions this summer, and I'm looking forward to it, because one way or another, it'll either leave us happy-ish at the end of the summer, or we'll be angry. And even if we're angry, I'm looking forward to that, because I know then that the fans are not going to they're going to get on these fuckers, even more on their case. I still believe, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to say my mood in every single video I do until something changes. And please, don't be quoting me like 6 months from now going, that aged well. In every video at the time of recording, I like to give my vibes on my current vibes, and you might watch this video now and I might already have a different opinion to what I'm about to say, okay, because things change all the time. But right now, I'm not convinced that we've given up on and they said Bellamy, on Bellingham. I'm not convinced by that. Too many things don't add up on that front. I am not one of these fans that's saying that because I really want it to happen. I want it to happen. But I'm not doing that. I'm doing that based on just what I hear, what I see, what I think, certain things not adding up. And I also know that things can change in football. So for me, you might have given up. I haven't given up. I'm not saying it's going to happen. How would I know? I'm not a Twitter ITK, all right, guys? But I have not given up on that as yet at the time of recording. On the ownership front, I think the owners want to sell Liverpool Football Club in the entirety. I think that there's people interested in buying the club despite the top, not the top Reds. The Liverpool clicker journalists saying, "Oh, nobody wants to buy Liverpool. I don't believe any of their nonsense." If they want to sell and there's someone to buy, why they're not doing it? Greed. I think they want more. I think they've got a couple of options they could push over the line and could have done towards the end of last year on a minority investment front. They're probably watching what's happening at Manchester United to see on valuations. Well, Chelsea sold recently. Why don't they go buy that? Well, because Chelsea was a quick sale because of the controversy around that. Maybe keep an eye on what's happening at Manchester United. They might get told of something before we see it officially, which might force their hand to do something. I still believe they want to sell the club. I do. I believe they want to sell the club. Will I be surprised if they announce a minor investment? No, not at all. No, because I just think they're greedy. They'll do what's right for them, not what's right for us. We've got to remember that, right? So, 55 minutes, lovely jubbly. I'd like to do another 5 minutes just to annoy everybody. And then we're off, because me and Remy, we're going out and we've got some things to do. And I've got my chicken in there. I think it's nice and tidy for Her Royal Highness's visit. So you're not going to, you might, well, I don't know if you I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be around much on the videos and podcast front until the end of next week. And my first video next week, if that picture's not there, that's going to tell a story, all right? Well, no, we'll see what happens, and we'll see what happens on that front. It's got to be right for me, it's got to be right for her, and she ain't taking no shit, and neither am I, so we shall see. But I'm going to do, listen, I'm going to do a few things. If you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Duncan Oldham, you might see me doing some things over the next few days and not churning out content. I don't want you to think, well, Duncan, he loves us so much, but he's out gallivanting and, he could be working on here now. No. My members know what I'm doing. They're the only people I need to speak to. People, my members, my subscribers, paying subscribers and shit like that, they know what's going on. I've just got some family, personal things I need to take care of for a few days, and I've got some plans, and I'm going to do it. And but if anything important comes up with Liverpool in the next, over the weekend or next week, I will be here. And she would want that anyway. She would say that, and I will be working on the members' website every day as normal. All right, I'll be on there. I'm not going to be sat around the computer all day. That's what created a lot of this in the first place. So, Cop Talk has definitely contributed to my first marriage going terribly wrong. We got married at Anfield as well, at the stadium. She's a lovely girl, but Cop Talk was a bit of an obsession in Liverpool when I was a young man. It didn't help, and I don't think that it would be good to see a second marriage go to tits because of the stresses that come with with the website. To you guys, just a website. It's just a website, innit? There's loads of them. That one goes, I'll go and watch that other channel, or I'm not bothered about that website, I never visit it. And, some people like that, but behind that website is a real person. And with them things, as you know, if you're self-employed in the world, come many stresses and problems, and that's what creates problems in relationships sometimes. And that's what happened, really, I guess. Anyway, Cop Talk's not to blame for everything. It's been a very, very rewarding experience for me through my life, but it has certainly contributed to some mistakes I've made as well. And that's it. Another minute and 50 seconds, I think. So t.me/Cop Talk chat. I will catch up with those of you. If your name should be in the video description below and it's not, please let me know. When people support the Saturday streams, when you get one of them thanks things under the chat, I'm putting you in there in that section below for the entire year. I want people to see who my heroes are that are helping me out. I can't list all the members or channel members or podcast patrons because it'd be like this. But basically anyone that helps out, I'm listening there as a way of acknowledgement. It's important to me. That's all. It's only a little thing. It's just pretty simple. That's what she said. And I will get caught up with my emails soon, I promise you. And thanks for the support, guys. Thanks for the support. And we'll speak again soon. I mean, we might speak again today, but it's going to take you a while to watch this. That's it. That's it. Chicken. Boy, get on, you not bad. Oh, really? Look at this. It's looking good, lad. Oh, that's looking all right now. Right. 40 seconds. Yeah, nice one. Did you enjoy the video? Was it all right? Was it garbage? Just trying to help people. If I was one of them other people out there, the video would be 3 minutes long, a bit like, a session with me, to maximise viewer retention. But no, we do it as we want on here. The 17 seconds, 16 seconds. What can I say in that amount of time? Crank the flange. I don't know where my cup is. It must be in the dishwasher. Oh, it's there. Crank the flange, crank that. Unless you do Saturday night streaming, you won't know what that means. Okay, guys, take care. Please thumbs up the video. All right.